Hey M Squad, and welcome back to my channel. Tonight we are doing part two about our relationship, and about marriage. I have my fiance, Rich Nix. That's his nickname that he came up with that I gave him. Also, so already starting already. So tonight I was trying to go live, but for some reason the live stream app was not working. So I said, let me just regular record this video and just upload it. So we're gonna get started about excuse me y'all, about our relationship and marriage. So excuse me, I'm gonna let my fiance start off.
All right. How everybody doing out there? Once again, my name, she said Rich Nix. I also go by Rich Dollars. But we gonna be on marriage, and one thing you have to know first is before you get ready to get married. For one, you have to approve that person. What approve means is you have to get to know that person, because a lot of times people tend to get married after 6 months or a year and they don't really know the person. Then when they get married, they start to see sides that they don't, you know what I'm saying, that they don't like about that person. But it's too late once you get married, because marriage is a serious thing. You can't just up and just because you're not getting along, or you're you see these ways about this person you don't like, you can't just up and just get a divorce.
Right.
Because the only way you can separate from a divorce, get out of a divorce, is if a person, your spouse, cheats.
Right.
Or if that person dies.
Right.
So that's why it's very important for you to approve that person. And once you do that, like my fiance, I've been knowing her for decades.
A
And
decade.
decades. I said decades because it seemed like that long, y'all.
Yeah.
And everything. So I know how she is.
Right.
So, but like I said, a lot of times people end up getting married, and you know what I'm saying, then they want to get a divorce. Another thing too is when you do get married, you know what I'm saying, you can't let the fire go out. And what I mean by letting the fire go out is like the two of you like I could say being intimate, or you got to try different things. You got to let that person know that, still let that person know that you love them. Like every now and again, I surprise her with these cards, and she loved those cards that I'll be getting her.
Just because cards, and I have every single last one of them on my desk at work, and every time he surprised me, like they could be up under something. Like the last time I was heading out to go to the store, and it was just me, and I did not know that he put a card in the car in the driver's seat. So he was like, "Go ahead and get in your car." And when I got in the car, there was a card there along with some candy, and it was like a necklace. There was some earrings. So I was surprised. I like little things like that, and um, it just brightened up my day. So I took pictures of it. Of course, I posted it because that's what us girls do. And so I brought it to work, and those little things, it does melt your heart. You know, it's not about the big things. The little things melts my heart, and the little things do carry a long way. And you remember those little things during the hard times of your relationship, or you being engaged, and you on the road to marriage. You do tend to think about those little things that happen. Like if you get into an argument, you'll be like, okay, well, I know him. So you giving me a card just because. So
For all you fellas out there, that's what you have to do to keep your relationship going. You surprise her on the bath water and now and again. Show her that you love her. When you gotta let her know, because I see a lot of marriages ending before they really even get started.
right, because I've seen some marriages like 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. What was the purpose of you getting married? That's why you take the time out to get to know a person. Yeah, we have done things backwards. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. We should have got to know each other instead of like, living with each other at the beginning. But we all human. We be in the flesh. And, sometimes things tend to work out that way. But long as those two people get on track and pray and turn your life around and ask God to lead you in the direction where He wants you to go, and you listen to what God tells you to do for your lives, and when you tend to get on that track, that's the best way to go.
Also, too, you don't want to, because I know a lot of people just think it's okay. Like I read stories. Like last night, I was reading this story that this lady, she was telling her story. She like I think what she do, wrote a book or wrote something and posted online, but she changed the names to protect her and her husband. But she just said that that she stepped outside her relationship and how she outside her marriage and how she regretted it, because marriage is a sacred thing with God. That's
Right.
that's a covenant with God.
Yes, it
And
is.
once you break that, He's gonna punish you.
Yes, He will. And a lot of people don't understand that. Even though relationships is going to have its ups and downs, no relationship, no marriage is not perfect whatsoever. There's not a perfect relationship or a perfect marriage out there, even though some people may proclaim it on social media, on TV. Behind closed doors, trust and belief, they got issues just like a regular person have issues. And um when you take those vows before God, God takes marriage very seriously. The Bible talks about that. He takes marriage very seriously, and you don't invite no one else in your marriage at all. It's between those two people who made the covenant before God. I hear a lot of people saying, "Oh, I want to turn up the spice in my marriage and add someone else." No, that ain't gonna work too well when you have invite other people in your marriage, in your relationship.
That's how people lose their lives.
You lose your life for that, because either that woman wants to be having other women and all that, or the man wants to have other men and women on that, and that's a no. God do not honor that marriage, even though the bed is undefiled. That's what the word says, but a marriage is between one woman and one man, not multiple women and multiple
Multiple
men.
men.
Okay, I don't care what anybody says. I'm a woman myself, and I don't want to have no other woman or no other man in my marriage. Somebody be liable to get their tail cut. I mean, really cut. CUTT, cut. Okay, I only want just the man that God have gave me in my life, and that's it. When it says to spruce up your marriage, go back to the things that you did when you was dating. Okay, now when you was dating, I was hoping it was just you and that person, not no other body, not no one else.
Don't let that fire go out.
But don't let the fire go out. You know, go back to the things that you used to do when you was dating. You don't have to have all this money to have a good time. You can have a good time in your own company of your own home. You can have a little dinner date. You can send a note to your spouse, but like, listen, be ready at such and such time. We going out on a date, and your date could be in your own home. You can get dressed up. He can get dressed up. Have a dinner, candlelight dinner, some music, have some good food, talk, some some wine and chill and relax. Have dessert and all that.
Yeah, because I'm 42, and
And I'm 38, even though I don't look like it.
and I waited.
Let me
I
stop.
I waited till I was ready to get married. That's another thing. People just up and get married because I hear a lot of time. Oh, you guys should get married, and they ain't ready to get married.
Right,
See, I've never been married, so and I'm 42, and I wanted to wait until I was ready to, like settle down and what I'm saying, be with one person. That's what it's best if you do that because I'm the type of person,
right,
and I've told her, I'm not getting married to get divorced, you
right.
know, so that's why I waited until I was ready, because I'm not that divorce thing now.
That's not an option.
No, it's not an option.
But I was married before. Let me go ahead and put that out there. I was married to my oldest daughter, father. I got married at a very young age. I was 18 years old, didn't know no better. No one really took out the time to let me know what marriage was about. I didn't see, any good marriages at that time, at that young age. I mean, I did see people that was married that been married for a long time, but they had issues. But I really haven't had someone to really set me down to let me know what marriage was about. I was 18 years young, 18 years old. I was married to my oldest daughter father for years before we even had her. I was 22 years old at the time when I had my daughter. So a lot of people were like, why you got married at such a young age? I think about that. Yes, I should have waited, but at the time, it was just a lot of stuff that was going on at the time. So where I was like, what I know now compared to what I know then, I should have waited. But as I got older and learned a lot of things, went through a lot of things, and now that I'm much wiser than what I was before, this time around, divorce is not an option. At that time, I said the same thing. I said, I don't want to get a divorce. You know, I want to stay married. But at that time, we both was young. He was, like 3 years older than I was. But, I that was a life lesson learned. It taught me a lot. It taught me a lot about myself. It taught me a lot about relationship, and it taught me a lot about marriage at the same time. But, I was married before I had my daughter. So, a lot of people think that I didn't. Yes, I was. I was married before I had my child. And it was years before I even had her. But this time around, I know a lot about marriage. You're going to still continue learning about yourself, about your spouse that you're going to be with, and you're going to continue to learn about relationships and marriage as well.
Another thing too, for you fellas and you women out there. For one, I'm gonna start with the fellas. You don't let your friends when you get married. You don't let your friends sit at your house when you're not there. For one, or
Right,
coming by. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they know you're not there, and they know you're not there, and then they slide by and like, oh, is such and such here, and when they know you're at work
right,
and things of that. And same with the women. Don't let your friends come there and be sitting, you know what I'm saying, with your husband while waiting on you to get home. That's a big no.
major no, because
That's
ain't none of my friends gonna be sitting there waiting for my husband, waiting for me while my husband is there. You got the game twisted. You better wait in your car at your house or wait at your house until I get home, and I tell you that it's okay for you to come. But I would have to talk to my husband first before you even come to see whether or not it's okay. And if it's not okay, he said, no, we got things to do. We got something planned. You're going to have to wait. Husband come first before friends.
another thing. Too. That's another thing. Like she just said, you got to put each other first. I've seen too many marriages fail because everybody's in their relationship. Then the friends are always around and
Right.
over. You got like say all your female say all your say if she had all her female friends always around and stuff. That's a big no too.
Big
That's
no
that
no.
that's just something waiting to happen.
Right.
That's just something waiting to happen. And like I said, I'm 42. and I've seen a lot, and I have definitely learned a lot, and I get that from my mother and father. I've learned a lot about marriage and
Hmm.
everything, and I know that that's just a no. You don't do that. You don't sit up and and let your friends come over and all the time, because that person get home from work, you know what I'm saying, and it's a house, say it's a house full of women or it's a house full of men, she come
Right.
home from work, it's a house full of men. That's a no.
That is a no no because when you get home from work, and especially if your spouse or your significant other didn't call you to let you know, hey, so and so is coming over, is it okay? And if you don't get that call and you come home from,
Excuse me, yo.
work, and you walk in and all you see is a bunch of people just sitting around, you be like, why did this why did my husband or my wife or my significant other call me and let me know? Because when you get home, you probably want to get relaxed, take you a shower, eat you something real good, and just relax with your significant other when you get home. But no, you got to sit there and entertain people that you don't even really want to be there. I'm just gonna keep it real and be honest, 100%. Sometimes when you get home from work, you don't want other folks in your house. You barely don't want your children there, but you know they got to be there because you know they're gonna get on your nerves and they're gonna be mama this, mama that, dad this, dad that. But those are kids. You love them anyway. But still, though, when you get home, you don't want no house full of folks. You don't want when you come to the door and you put the key in, someone already there to meet you. You be like, oh, what the world? Like, why didn't you let me know? So that's an issue that you're going to have to discuss with your significant other when the folks leave.
And another thing too, not even your family members. You can't let your family members, because in most marriages, you got people in on one side of the family or this side of the family don't, what I'm saying, don't like a person, or maybe because of what happened. Because, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, me and her in a predicament like that. I mean, it's like it's getting, it got to the point where it was getting stressful, but we just like, well, we going through with the marriage, and it's just like sometimes you just gotta leave people where they're at, and keep it pushing.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you gotta cut family members off in order to be happy, because if you don't, you don't want your relationship, you know like your relationship to end, or your marriage to end, because it's a lot of people out there that are jealous, are envious, and they'll do
Right,
anything to break your relationship up. Like I said, I've been around, I've seen a whole lot.
right,
I've seen a whole lot. So, and I've learned from it, and I knew, like, okay, when I get married, I know I'm not gonna allow this to happen, and I'm not gonna allow that to happen.
right,
So, and I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot. So I was just like, okay, I'm not ready to get married yet. I want to, when I'm ready to get married, what I'm saying, I just want to be committed to that person, and not step into good, something happens, first thing a dude or a woman do is they want to step outside their relationships to the sitting down and talking to your spouse. It's easy to go out there and cheat than rather than
it's
sit down and
very
talk
easy.
to your spouse.
Right,
That shows you too where your maturity level is.
right, right, and that is so true what he was saying, because there's it's going to be a story time later on about our relationship. But there have been some things that happen on both sides, that neither one of us are proud about. But also at the same time is the fact that, we have went to God and asked God for forgiveness of ourselves. That's the first thing that you have to do. The second thing that you have to do is forgive each other, which we have done that too at the same time. We have been prayed over, and a lot of people don't know that. um, we have been prayed over, been prayed about our relationship. And when you ask God Himself, you don't go to no pastor, you don't go to no family member, no friends, or nobody. When you seek God for yourself and ask God to show you things, and ask God to either remove things for your life that's not good for you and that you don't want in your life, and you ask God to send you things that's supposed to be for your life. And when God send you those things, not only that, He give you confirmation, several confirmation through different people that may not even know you, that randomly come up to you and tell you things about your life, and you ain't never seen that person a day in your life at all. They just come out of nowhere. Or you just go to a church and that's your first time ever going to a church, and someone randomly come up to you and tell you something about your life, and you be like, huh? This is my first time ever seeing you. I never saw you a day in my life. Never heard about you in your day in your life. And then when God start to move in your life and start to show you things, you ain't got no choice but to accept this. Our relationship had been prayed over years ago. Even though things have happened, God allowed certain things to happen in our relationship to break it up, because what we was doing at that time was not what God want us to do at that time. So God allowed us to separate, to get some mess out of our lives, to clean up some things out of our lives. And once He cleaned that stuff up, he stripped us basically. There's a story time where me and him both can tell y'all that God stripped us from a lot of things. And when I tell you a lot of things, a lot of people don't know about, that I never share with anybody, and he haven't shared with a lot of people as well. That God had to remove some things out of our lives for him to get our attention. But like, listen, the route that y'all going is not a good route at all. So since y'all not listening, and I've been warning y'all for quite some time, let me just go ahead and take away some things for y'all to really get it together. So that's what happened. God stripped a lot of things from our lives, and when He seen us getting on that path to where He want us to go, that's when He started putting things back together again. And we are on the right track where God want us to be at. We had family prayer last night. We prayed this morning. Every night I pray, we pray. We pray over our children. We pray over our family. Yes, there's a lot more things that God want us to do, but God do see our hearts. And He do see that we are on, trying to get on that path where He wants us to be fully. And it's not meant for other people to understand, because what God have for us is for us. Yes, people may not like it, but that's understandable why they don't like it. But also at the same time, this is what God have for us, and it's not meant for them to understand at all. And I thank God for this lady named Vicky, who I've been knowing for quite some time now, years. She fully know the situation. She talked to me about a couple of weeks ago, and I thank God for her talking to me and basically explaining to me about certain things. And another pastor that I used to go to, her name was Pastor Barry at the time. She explained a lot of things to me, and basically some of the same things that I'm going through now, she already told me, what, like a year ago, that I will be going through these things with family and friends, and that's exactly what I'm going through. Yes, it's hurtful. People may not understand our relationship, but it's not meant for them to understand, because our relationship is ours. It's not theirs. So, you know, that's one of the things that I did wanted to share with you guys, that we got a whole bunch of stories to tell y'all. I'm just rambling, y'all.
But for you guys out there, like I said, no, take this back. For you men out there, once you get married, you have a responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have to step up.
Right.
You're gonna have to step up. You're gonna have to take care of your household. You're gonna have to be the head, not the tail.
Right.
Because there's an order. There's God,
Right.
there's Christ, there's man, there's your wife, and then your children. It's a pecking order.
And everybody else still dwindling on down. See, the thing
And
about it is, a lot of people think, "Oh, I'm taking care of him, honey. He makes more money than I do. He take care of us." And some people think that I pay everything, honey. If I pay everything, we'll be broken. Everything won't get taken care of. Okay, he has his money and I have my money. And trust and believe, things are being taken care of. We are planning for our future. There are a lot of things that we are currently working on and still have sat down and talk about our goals for our family, individual goals and for our family goals. So trust and believe there are a lot of things that we are working on for our future and for our children's future and our family as one.
but like I was saying, you men out there, you're gonna have to, when you get married, you're gonna have to step up because you're the head of the household.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're the head of the household, you're gonna have to lead your household. You're gonna have to lead your household.
Right.
You can't allow all that chaotic and evil spirits and all of that stuff to come in your house. You got to check it at the door.
Check
Uh,
it.
you ain't coming in here. Not with that. It's not
Right.
happening. It ain't going down. That dog don't hunt. As my dad and them said, that dog don't hunt. Not
Mm-mm.
not this way.
And I don't understand why a lot of men think that their mother come before their wife.
No, your
That's
wife.
not what the word, that's not what God says it about marriage.
You
Your
leave
wife
your
comes
parents
before
to
your parents.
cleave to
That
your wife.
scripture says that you leave your parents to cleave to your wife. So I don't know where these people got it twisted that, hey, my mama, no, your mama don't come before your wife. If that's the case, then you can stay single and you can stay with your mother. No, when you get married, when a man and woman get married, they leave their parents' home and you cleave to your husband. The husband cleave to the wife. If y'all have issues, you keep it amongst each other. Don't go outside your marriage unless you're going to go seek counsel. Not counsel from your friends, your neighbor, your uncle, cousin, sister, brother, and them. Counsel for someone who will give you wise counsel, not their opinion and how everything should be. Wise counsel for the both of y'all. When a man gets married, your mother does not come before your wife. Your wife comes before your mother. Now, it's okay to talk to your mother to make sure she's all right. But if any money coming out of the household that you and your wife built, it's the husband and wife duty to talk to each other and say, hey, my mom is going through this or my dad is going through this. Is it okay? Do we have anything extra so we can be able to help out our parents? That's what you're supposed to do. You don't just take it upon yourself. Oh, I'm going to go talk to my mom. Oh, this is my mom. No, it's my mom. No, no. You talk to your wife, and the wife, you talk to your husband to see if it's okay.
And a lot of people don't understand that. And you know, people take stuff out of context, just like with the because like I said, there's an order. You know what I'm saying? The woman has to be in order, and the man has to be in order.
Right.
Because of those, if y'all ain't in order, I'm telling you, your marriage is not gonna work. Because a house that's divided, you know what I'm saying? That's divided, it ain't gonna stand.
Right.
It's not gonna stand.
Right. It's not gonna stand at all. And then another thing is, if you decide to get married, or you know, make sure that you do your research about the person that you're trying to get in a relationship with or you trying to get married to, because every day goes by, I always get some type of notification where these women just let these random dudes come into their house and look after their kids, and they better don't even know that person. Now they children dead. Like, don't do that. You know, look at the person that you trying to bring into your household. Like, really seriously do your homework. Like, before I met him, we talked for a long time, months, a long time before I even met him. Like, we was getting to know each other. It was a while before I met him, before we went out on a date, all that. We talked on the phone. And yes, talking on the phone is no different to actually meeting the person, spending time with them and all that stuff. But after we talked for a long period of time and we finally did got a chance to see each other, a lot of things that we did have talked about was actually true. So, our relationship have went on along the way. Of course, you're gonna have your ups and downs and all that stuff. That just comes with part of being in a relationship. But also at the same time, like, be careful who you allow in your children's life. Because it's too many kids end up dying because the mama let some scallywag in her house that she don't even barely know. So that's one of the things that I did want to talk about.
Well, there it is, you guys, all in a nutshell. So if you're out there, for people out there planning on getting married and stuff, things of that, approve that person first. Get to know them. I'm not, and not no 6 months, no year, no 2 years and stuff like that. You have to really get to know the person that you're getting married to, and that's why a lot of marriages end, because people don't approve each other. And now they like, oh, I'm with a monster now, but guess what? You stuck with that monster because you didn't bother to approve that person. So now you're stuck because, like I said, the only way I've ever met marriage is death, or if that person cheats. So
Right.
until next time, you guys.
And use protection, because these diseases is out here. All kind of diseases is out here. New diseases, the same diseases. Be protected of your body. Bugs is real. Bugs be popping,
Mm.
scratching and burning and fire. Like, bugs is really real. Y'all see these crazy bugs around here? They really real. You don't want bugs popping all over your body and everything. But this is the end of the video because we don't want it to cut off. And if you want us to do a part 3 of it, you can. Also, again, there is a video that I have on my channel. It's Q&A. Up under that Q&A video, if y'all can please, um, in the comment section, ask some questions, and we will do a video answering those questions, and we will make sure that we call out each of your names and the question that you ask, and we will answer those questions. All right, M Squad, we're gonna end this video. Don't forget to subscribe, get this video a thumbs up, and hit that bell to be notified when new videos will be uploaded. I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and always remember, love yourself.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sounding off this Rich Dollars. So y'all better holler and you better follow. Hit that button. Peace.
Clyde.